No, 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 no! That can't be right. Ah, there it is. Now then, do you know the most powerful force in the universe? Not gravity, not nuclear fusion, not black holes, not even my hamster-powered quantum accelerator, which is, at present, banned in 7 countries. No, the most powerful force humanity ever created is this: a piece of paper. Think about that. You can't eat it, you can't drink it, you can't build a shelter from it. Stranded on a desert island, $1 million would be less useful than one sandwich. And yet, people spend their entire lives chasing it, waking early for it, fighting over it, building empires with it, burning empires down for it. And here's the strange part. This thing isn't actually worth anything. That's not a flaw. That's the entire trick. Money is the strangest invention humanity ever made. And once you understand how it truly works, you start seeing the whole world differently. So today, we travel through time, where money came from, why it works, and why the entire global economy hangs on something you cannot touch. Ready? Good. Try not to explode. That's usually my job. Before we begin, I must destroy 3 myths. Myth 1. Money is backed by gold. No, hasn't been for decades. Myth 2. The government prints all the money. Also no, most money is never printed at all. Myth 3. Rich people understand money because they're smarter. I have met rich people. Some of them think mayonnaise is a business plan. The truth is stranger. Money isn't really a thing. It's an agreement, a giant shared story. And to understand it, we go all the way back. Before banks, before coins, before money existed at all. Welcome to ancient humanity. No wallets, no banks, no online shopping, no advertisements for toothbrushes with artificial intelligence. Simpler times. People survived by helping each other. You fix my fence, I owe you. You help my harvest, I owe you. The whole village ran on favors, and it worked because everyone knew everyone. The trouble began with strangers. Picture a baker who wants shoes. He goes to the shoemaker, who doesn't want bread. He wants a chicken. So now the baker must find someone with a chicken who also wants bread, trade for the chicken, bring it back, and pray the shoemaker hasn't changed his mind. Economists call this the double coincidence of wants. Both people needing exactly what the other has at exactly the same moment. Wildly inconvenient. So humanity searched for one thing everyone would accept. Shells, salt, tea bricks, cattle, metal. And notice, the object was never the point. The agreement was. Even then, trust did all the heavy lifting. Eventually, metal won. Gold, silver, bronze. It didn't rot like food, didn't run off like cattle, and, unlike my laboratory assistants, rarely exploded. Coins meant value could finally be stored and carried. Trade exploded. Cities grew. But metal had a problem. It's heavy. And nowhere was that clearer than ancient China. Meet one of history's most exhausted shoppers. In parts of China, money was metal coins, and for anything valuable, you needed thousands of them. People hauled their savings in wheelbarrows. They hired guards to protect the wheelbarrows. Imagine being robbed and hearing, "Hand over the cart!" People realized this was ridiculous. So merchants offered storage. Leave your coins with us? Here's a receipt. At first, people redeemed the receipts for coins later. Then someone had the idea that changed everything. Why redeem them at all? If everyone trusts the receipt is the money. And just like that, paper money was born. One of the most important inventions in history. Not because the paper was valuable, because people trusted it. That's the secret. Money doesn't need real value. It only needs belief. And if that sounds strange, Wait until you hear about Yap. On a tiny Pacific island called Yap, the money was this. Not coins, not paper, giant stone wheels, some larger than cars. Obviously, nobody carried them around. Terrible for your back. So the stones stayed put. When ownership changed, everyone simply remembered who owned which stone. The whole economy ran on shared memory. Then something remarkable happened. One stone fell off a boat and sank to the bottom of the ocean. Gone. Unseeable. Unreachable. Forever. And the island decided it still counted. Still valuable. People still traded ownership of a stone no human would ever see again. Why? Because the value was never in the stone. It was in the agreement. And before you laugh at them, look at your bank account. Most of your money isn't physical either. It's numbers, records. You trust it's there, exactly as they trusted that stone. Different technology, same idea. So what is money, really? Here's where people get confused. Money is not wealth. Wealth is the actual thing. The farm, the factory, the skills, the inventions, the knowledge. Money is just a way to measure and move those things. Think of it like points in a game. The points aren't the game. They just keep score. Money does three jobs. It stores value, it moves value, and it measures value. That's it. And now, the part I promised you. The strangest, most important part of this entire story. Where does money actually come from? Take a breath, because once you see this, you can't unsee it. Most people picture a bank like a giant piggy bank. You and your neighbors deposit your money, the bank keeps it in a vault, and when someone needs a loan, the bank lends out the cash that's sitting there. Simple. Sensible. Wrong. Here's what actually happens. You walk into a bank and ask for a loan. Let's say $100,000 for a house. The bank says yes, but it does not go to the vault. It doesn't dig through everyone's deposits. It opens your account and it types a number. 100,000. Just types it in. That money did not exist 1 second earlier. It wasn't moved from somewhere else. It wasn't printed. It was created. Right there, on a screen, the instant you signed the loan. The bank didn't lend you someone else's money. It created brand new money out of essentially nothing, backed by your promise to pay it back. I know how that sounds. Let it sit for a moment. When a bank makes a loan, it creates new money. The loan doesn't come from existing deposits. The loan itself brings the money into existence. But wait, you might say, can banks just invent infinite money? Almost, but not quite. There are breaks. Banks are required to hold a fraction in reserve and to keep a cushion of their own capital, and a loan only gets created when someone's willing to borrow and the bank believes they'll pay it back. Those rules are the only thing keeping the number from spiraling. But within those limits, yes. Most new money is born exactly like this, as a loan, as a number typed into an account. Now here's where it compounds, beautifully. You take that 100,000 and pay the person selling the house. They deposit it in their bank. Now their bank sees a fresh deposit, and it can lend most of it out again, creating yet more new money for the next person. And that person spends it, and it gets deposited and lent again. The same original spark of money ripples outward, multiplying through the whole system. Economists call this the money multiplier. I call it money having children. So let that land. The vast majority of money in the world today was never printed by any government. It was created by ordinary banks, as debt, with a keystroke, and multiplied as it moved from hand to hand. Most money is, quite literally, a promise about the future written into a computer, which sounds completely insane, because it slightly is, and yet, it works. Why? The same reason it always has. Trust. You trust the number in your account is real. The shop trusts the card will pay. The bank trusts you'll repay the loan. It's the village favor, the Chinese paper receipt, the sunken stone on Yap, the exact same machinery, running at planetary scale. Trust is the hidden engine of the entire financial system. Without it, money is just paper and pixels. With it, money becomes civilization. Now, the most useful thing you'll hear today. If money is fundamentally trust, then earning it was never about chasing money. It's about creating value, solving problems, building skills, making things people trust and want. That's why great engineers earn, great artists earn, great teachers, builders, inventors. They earn. Not because money magically appears, but because value attracts it. Money follows value. Always has, always will. Most people spend their lives chasing money directly. That's backwards. Build something useful, get genuinely skilled, make something that matters, and the money tends to follow. Not instantly, not magically, but reliably. Because underneath all the complexity, money is just society's way of saying, "Thank you, that was useful." So the next time you hold a dollar, don't see paper. See one of the greatest agreements in human history, a story shared by billions, a system built entirely on trust, a tool powerful enough to wire the whole world together, and increasingly, a number conjured into being by a promise. And now, you know the trick. Until next time, stay curious. And please, do not build a hamster-powered quantum accelerator. Trust me on that one.